Prince coming at 8 on 18. The Real Prince, 8 on 18. The Real Prince has done it from 8 on 18.
Oh, you're so amazing, you make me feel alright. The temperature's rising, take me for a ride. Oh, it's so amazing, we got the chemistry. Regular highs when you give me ecstasy, yeah. Give me ecstasy, yeah. Give me ecstasy, yeah.
It's that time of the year again, racing lovers. It's the 2026 World Sports Betting card call and panel discussion. We're coming at you live out of the Mount Edgecombe, the majestic Mount Edgecombe Country Club here, just on the Umhlanga Ridge. And my, oh my, have we got a great venue, and have we got a great panel, and have we got a great Hollywoodbets Durban July for 2026. The bar, ladies and gentlemen, has been raised. In fact, it's been raised to 10 bar. Let that sink in. 10 million rand. That's what they're racing for. In just 6 days' time, 18 horses will be charging down the Hollywoodbets Gravel Straight in search and in pursuit of the big purse in the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Panel, well, we've got a star-studded panel. We've got legends, we've got champions on the panel today. Let's start with Pierre Strydom, who's won the Hollywoodbets Durban July 4 times, the conglomerate, Pomodoro, trademark in London News. He's a legend. He's just a great friend, and we're so blessed to have him still in horse racing. Strikes, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I just wish I could have ridden this year for 10 million.
Absolutely, absolutely. What a great prize money. Lovely to have you on the panel, World Sports Betting Ambassador, and we look forward to the next hour with you. The man who's not any stranger to training and to achieving at the highest level, grade 1 level. He's already won the big one twice with Oriental Charm and Winchester Mansion. He saddles the favourite, the current favourite of the Hollywoodbets Durban July Star Major. He's a young man who's taken over the reins from his father, who's flying in Hong Kong, double just yesterday. His name's James Crawford. James, how are you?
Oh, very well, Warren. Thanks for having me on.
Lovely, fantastic. Great to have you here, and we look forward to being in your company. Stephen Karam, he's no stranger to horse racing. He's the racing and sponsorship manager of World Sports Betting. He and his team have put all this together. And Stephen, your passion, your love for the game just continues to glow. How are you?
I'm very well, and you. Thank you for asking. It's just great to have two legends on our panel. But just a little side chirp to James is that every time we invite a top trainer onto the panel, they seem to win either the Met. Justin was on our Met panel, which we sponsor, and obviously we had Dean Cannemeyer where you sitting last year, and he won it last year. So
no pressure, James.
No pressure.
From your mouth to God's ears.
And I do take commission. So we'll chat after the race.
Let us talk about specials. Before we go any further, there's lots of betting opportunities. There's lots of chance to make money. There's just great opportunities. I'm going to go through them. There's quite a list of them, of these fabulous specials that are offered to you. There's a deposit match up to 200,000 Rand, 20% deposit match. Stephen, that's you might want to just dwell on that because that's fabulous.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a great initiative. We do it every year. We do it for the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met, and we obviously do it for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. So anything up to 200,000, we match it by 20%. But you can't go over that. So the maximum you can get in free bets or free coins is 40,000 Rand. And it doesn't have to be done all in one, so it's over a period. Okay. It ends on Sunday the 5th. So all our guys, if you go in, and even the guys that don't have accounts with us, they go in, they register, and they can deposit, and they get 20% back in free bets.
Sure. Fabulous. Okay, so that's the first special that we needed to touch on. There are boosted odds online now, folks. Online right now, the boosted odds are there for you to go and enjoy. Different types of bets, top 2 in the betting versus the field. You can bet on the winning age, the horse that's, what age the winning horse is, winning margin, the winning trainer. It's a little inside tip here, winning trainer, he could be sitting here with us. 2 up to 6 places. 6 places are paid out. Match play, head-to-head on all races. Odds and evens in all races. And, of course, you've got the boosted odds that are going for 3 minutes. And thereafter, the second boost will be another 3 minutes. And not only in the Hollywoodbets Durban July, ladies and gentlemen, but in all races, WorldSportsBetting are laying up to 6 places. That's phenomenal. Additionally, with all this betting feast for you, place odds are going to be boosted with the win odds. So get onto your devices, get onto your accounts, and as they say in racing, start firing. Before we get into the field and go through the runners and the odds, I just want to pitch a question to Pierre, and I'll start with you, Pierre, first. Having won the race so many times, having competed at the highest level, what does it take to win a race of this caliber?
Well, firstly, it's very difficult not to get too excited about getting into the July, getting on your horse in the parade ring on the way to the start. The adrenaline is pumping, people are shouting next to the course. So, but I feel a race is roughly the same time. So you ride the race according to the pace of the race. Ride it as a normal race if you can. It's very rough if you're drawn on the inside. It's actually not such a good draw, because you are fighting the other jockeys coming from the outside to try and get position near the rail. And, well, you can shout and scream as much as you want to. The guys on the outside just don't listen. So you've got to hope you don't get pushed over the fence. But all in all, don't get excited. Don't start going from the 700 or the 600. Don't go too soon. I think that is the secret. Ride it like a normal race.
James, I see you smiling as Pierre said. Sometimes that inside draws, could be against you, but you had a smile on your face. You've clearly got a plan in mind and instructions to Michaela. But to win it from a trainer's perspective, I mean, you've done it twice. Tell us, what goes into it.
Well, the biggest thing, Warren, is you've got to have a good prep going into the race. This is a handicap race, so obviously the best weighted horse is going to be, the threat. And ultimately, you just, everything's got to be flawless going into the race. Your horse has got to be working well. His confidence needs to be up, needs to be in good shape back at home. And it's just building him a nice momentum going into the race. You can't have any kind of setbacks, especially for a race of this caliber. If you've got a setback going into this kind of race, good luck.
Okay, that's Pierre Strydom and James Crawford. Let's go to the jugular, let's go to the meat, let's get betting, let's get odds out there and get you punting and active for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. We're going to go from the bottom of the boards all the way to the top. And the first horse that we're going to be talking about is number 15. That's Olivia's Way for Roy Magna, Gerald Sadlier, and JP van der Merwe. And naturally, well, that's number 15. They'll start from gate 15. And the odds, current odds, 75 to 1 with WorldSportsBetting. Stephen, what is that going to be inflated and boosted to?
So it's going to be inflated. The first boost is 100 to 1, and that's for 3 minutes. And thereafter, the second boost is 90 to 1. Big odds.
Big odds about the Path Fork filly. Striker, a quick comment about Roy Magna's horse, ultra consistent filly. What chance do you give her?
Well, she is an outsider for a reason, but she didn't finish that far behind See It Again. We know he's a top horse. And if you like Mocha Blend, you've got 100 to 1. Mocha Blend's way shorter, yes. So not the worst bet.
Okay, not the worst bet, according to Striker. And we'll get opinions on all the horses, and we'll jump around on the panel and get their thoughts. But let's move along to another outsider in the race. That's horse number 16. That's Candice and Tammy Dawson's horse for Sandy and Eugene Arundel. Gavin Lorena's going to ride. And this mare's been banging at the door, has Minogue. And current odds about this horse for the next 3 minutes, well, 66 to 1. But Stephen's going to tell us what the boosted odd is on Minogue for the next 3.
So first of all, they're great friends of ours. ours meaning World Sports Betting. We own a lot of horses with them, and it's just great to see them in the race, which is great. And I just hope that Minogue runs a cracker for them. They absolutely deserve it. So the first boost is 80 to 1 for 3 minutes, and thereafter 75 to 1 for 3 minutes.
Listening to Sandy in her interview that she did at the July draw, she said exactly that. That's what you want to do. You want to compete at the highest level. You want to, and you're quite right. They're in the race, and how wonderful for them. James, Minogue, for Candice and Tammy Dawson. Yeah, what chance do you give her?
It's her first time going over the trip, Warren, so that would be one question mark for me, although in saying that, you know, she gave Wishlist a really hard time in the Will Lavington. If my math, no, so they actually meet, Minogue is actually better off at the weights in this run. So she could actually be a little bit of value for your places, I would think.
Pierre, we were chatting last night, and I mentioned that in racing these things happen. The rider dropped the rein on Minogue last time, but you were of the opinion that it doesn't really matter that much so close to home. Is that right?
Yeah, not really. I mean, if you fall all over the place or unbalanced, it could affect the horse, but it doesn't affect that much. I mean, if you're still going in stride and pushing the horse along, the reins are dangling there. No, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Next up in the betting is a horse called The Ultimate King. This is going to be, well, this is trained by Tony Peter, owned by Barcy and Suzette Viljoen of Hopes and Dreams Stud. And they have got The Ultimate King, who, Stephen, before we get the boosted odd, he's a Versen Getrix, and he's in the race. He's got to be one for the shortlist, possibly for places.
Absolutely. I mean, they all finished on top of each other.
Correct.
In the last run. So there should be nothing between them. And if you have a look at the horses that finished in front of him, they're way shorter than him. So at the first boost price of 55 to 1 and the second boost price of 50 to 1, he's got to be great place value. Because if you fancy one of the others, but he was right on top of them.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, he has a big chance of running a place.
So the Ultimate King trading at 45 to 1. The boosted odd for you folks is 55 to 1, and thereafter 50 to 1 for Tony Peter. Guys, the Ultimate King, your thoughts, Pierre?
Yeah, like Stephen was saying, there are a lot of horses that are right on top of one another. You would actually think that he should be shorter, because there are some horses that he's got the turnover and weight on some of the older horses. So, I mean, this is a handicap.
Yes.
These horses are very close together on form. A little bit of luck in running, drawn 3, maybe up handy, stays out of trouble. Like everyone says, could be a good place bet.
Agree, James?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Pierre. You know, if he gets a little bit of luck in running, definitely think he could be worth some value on a place.
Let's go on then, folks, and talk about Corne Spicer's horse for Mr. Dazrath, Mistress Dazrath, Rod McNabb, Sturgio Poriatzis, and all their partners. There's a whole host of partners in Hazy Daisy. She's a cracking good filly. She's an act of war, and we know what she's done up on the Highveld. Trent Mayhew, wonderful. Pierre, that they've stuck with Trent. I mean, great to see that kind of loyalty, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice to see. I actually said to him the race, when he won on her, went to the front. They came past Trent, and she fought him back off again. That was a great ride. Maybe if there's not a lot of pace, you could ride a similar race, especially being gravel, a short straight. But she got big penalties for some of her wins here. I think it could be a difficult race for her, but maybe once again can race handy and try and steal it from the top of the straight. Maybe some places.
Stephen, Hazy Daisy, 45 to 1 is her current odds. What can we look forward to?
First boost 55 to 1, second boost 50 to 1.
Sure, that's horse number 6, Hazy Daisy, the act of war. Okay, number 14 is next. That's I Salute You, and I Salute You is from the Peter Muscat barn, and Ryder Duplessis is coming all the way from overseas. Of course, great to have such. I mean, there again, gentlemen, the international interest and the international contribution. James, world class.
Yeah, different class, Warren. I really liked the way this horse ran in his last start. I did actually pencil him out in his last run. I think it will be tough for him from the draw, but also another horse where, you know, they ride on top of each other and he could definitely be in with a place chance.
Stephen, I Salute You is currently trading at 40 to 1. What are you going to offer the punters?
First boost 50, second boost 45 to 1.
Okay, that's Peter Muscat's horse for Messrs. Abraham Chetty and Tim Herden. Lovely to see Tim having a runner in the Hollywoodbets Durban July, and all their partners as well in I Salute You. Let's move along then to a horse that I think is an absolute massive runner. And her name is Marco Blaine. She's an ideal world filly for Frank Robinson, Maritz Fontaine, Tristan Godden. Pierre, let's talk jockeys for a moment. This young rider, Tristan Godden, it's just been so great to see him given the chance and deliver, and he's just blossomed into a lovely rider.
Yeah, what happens when you start getting better rides, you get more confidence, you start thinking whatever decision I make is the right decision, and from there on, you get better rides, and it goes on from there. So, yeah, he's improved a lot, and it's nice to see he's getting the chances. Yeah.
Do you give the ideal world filly, Marco Blaine, a chance?
I give her a chance, but I've had a lot of people that like her a lot. I just don't see any form where she's going to win it. I see value in as an outsider, but more of a place chance.
Okay. Stephen, the prep with this filly's gone good. That 1400 last time, way too short, 4.5 off Quick Step Girl. And I think Frank's picked his spots. What chance do you give her?
So Frank had a smile on his face from ear to ear after that last run. You
should have seen his smile after the gallop too.
He was over the moon with that run. I think she's huge value. I know that there's a lot of people that are tipping her. There has been a bit of money for her at WorldSportsBetting, so there's been a bit of pressure. So her current odds are 33 to 1, as you alluded to. The first boost is 40 to 1, and the second boost is 30 to 1.
Sure, that's that's big odds about Marco Blaine. So there we go. Currently 33 to 1, boosted to 40, and then the second boost 35. Marco Blaine. Do you see her as a threat, James?
I think on the weight, Warren, I definitely think she could probably get into the place chance. I'm not the biggest fan of how Frank's gone about prepping her. You know, he started her in a mile and then brought her back and tripped to a 14 for a 2200 meter race. I would have preferred if he had maybe gone a 14 and then an 18 or even a mile 2000. But she is a class filly. You know, it takes a class horse to win the Summer Cup, so don't think you can write her out of it.
Pierre, they talk about history, about hefty weights and the statistics and all the rest of it. Legal counsel, who is a legislate for Justin Snaith, Cameron and Etienne Braun, the Stonebridge family, Callan Murray, and Blue Sky Thoroughbreds, they've won the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Just my memory is not that sharp. I just forget the name of the horse that they've won with, but they've got a chance of winning their second. 62. I mean, is it impossible, or is there a small chance?
It's not impossible, but it's tough. Through the years, 60 kilograms have shown that it's hard to give away so much weight to younger horses, improving horses. 62 is obviously going to be even harder. The bottom weights have dropped from 54 kilograms to 52, so that's another 2 kilograms. So it's tough. But this horse has got the way he runs. Gravel could get away with Gravel.
Stephen, legal counsel, before I get James's thoughts on the legislate, 28 to 1 is what legal counsel currently trades at, and it's been cranked out to
33 to 1 first boost, second boost 30 to 1.
James, Justin's horse, there's always, I know that the two of you, there's great camaraderie amongst the two of you, and you work together, you train at the same venue. What chance do you give legal counsel?
I think, in my opinion, he's a really good miler. I think when he ran the race in the Met, a lot went right for him to see the trip out accordingly. I think if he can get it his own way, he could be dangerous for a place chance, but I think it's going to be really hard with 62 kilos on his back. You know, like Pierre was touching on, the weights are at the biggest, 10 kilo split between the whole field. It's hard enough with the 6 kilo split. Now you've got to give 2 more kilos up and down. So I think it's going to be a really hard task for him.
Okay, there we go. That's the opinion on that Justin Snaith trained horse legal counsel. Stephen, we were just chatting the other day about the Summer Cup with the strategic news. Dylan Kuhne, Glyn Schofield was the winning rider. And we were actually chatting to Dylan. I mean, he's firing up on all cylinders overseas, is he? And he comes to the Hollywoodbets Durban July with some team members from overseas. So we look forward to welcoming him. But Glyn's son here, Chad, lovely that he's come to town, and a great story on how he got the ride. And the team are confident. Listening to Gareth Van Zyl in one of his interviews today, he simply said, I'm confident. And for the Pariachis, Dave McLean, Gary Player, and the Parmanans, I mean, I don't think he would be out of place in the winner's box.
No. He's a top stayer. But I think it's going to be hard for him. Chad has ridden, if I'm not mistaken, in this race before. So he knows the track, he knows the course. But I just think that 59 kilos, drawn 17, it's not going to be easy.
Pierre, King Pals, yeah, from that draw, not going to be easy. Stephen's 100% correct.
It's not going to be easy, and he seems like he's been campaigning over 3,000, 3,200 metre races. So is he more of a stayer than a 2,200 metre July winner? I think that if a horse really stays, the field will become easier. This is obviously not an easy field. He'll have a tough task here.
James, having a word with Gareth about the path leading into the race, and he just mentioned that it's not, it wasn't really their first choice to come this route. It just fell that way. It just worked out that way, and it happens like that when you're dealing with horses, and things can change, and paths can change.
Yeah, no, definitely, Warren. I'm in agreement with Steve and Pierre. It's he's got good form. He's there and he's thereabouts. But I think 59 kilos, draw 17. I think this may just be a little bit tough for him. Probably a better horse over a touch further.
Stephen, what is his boosted odd number 17 King Pals for the Van Zyl team?
35 to 1 first boost, 33 to 1 second boost.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember those boosted odds are online now. Go through and take your bets as we guide you through the field and through the odds. Get online, go and take your bets, and the boosted odds are there as well as the place odds too. Let's go then and talk about horse number 1, and this is for Peter Muscat. This is his other runner, and this is for Hollywood Racing. The nominee there is Mr. Anthony Delpeche. Sean Veal, one of the retained riders, gets the ride, and they jump from gate 1 with 52 on the back. And this horse is a great debate, Pierre, because some are in his camp, some are not in his camp. Are you in or out of his camp?
Well, if you compare him to other older horses, he's a runner. I'm a 3-year-old follower this year. I believe the 3-year-olds will win it. But if you like the older horses, this horse has to come into play. Drawn 1. Obviously, he's going to fight off a lot of our horses on the outside. But if he gets a good jump and he gets not bustled around too much, drawn 1 can be an advantage.
James, his win in the WorldSportsBetting Gravel 1900 beating regulation was impressive.
Yeah, it was a win full of merit, Warren. It's like I say, it's very much a handicap. So you do try to look for an older horse that comes into the race with a lightweight on the back, and that's exactly what he is. He's got 52. Draw 1 will be a little bit tough to navigate, but I think if they can get him out and get him into a good position, there's no reason why he can't be right in the shake-up.
His current odds, ladies and gents, is 28 to 1 about Issa Vavani, who jumps from pole position. Boosted for you, the valued racing lover, Stephen?
First of all, if you like regulation, at the price that regulation is, and we're going to get to it later, then you've got to love Isi Vivani. They're at level weight. Isi Vivani at the boosted price of 35 to 1, the second boosted price of 33 to 1, and you got regulation at 6 to 1. I know where my money would be.
Okay, that's one Isi Vivani. Let's move on to the horse that races in New Silks, and that is number 8, Gladiatorian for Stuart Ferry, and Messrs. Hart de Keating, Jean Hardy, Michelle Narak, Larry Nestat and Fendel Civils. Those are the new patrons of Gladiatorian. Muzieni gets the ride from a comfortable draw. And Pierre, he came from far back last time, Gladiatorian. And I think his prep's going about the right way.
Yeah, the prep's going well, but he's one of the horses that I think is getting the worst of the weights, because he's now above 60. He's carrying 61.5 kilograms. I'm not so sure if he's a really 2,200 meter horse. I think he could be a nice place bet. I'm not sure if he can win it, but he's definitely not out of it.
Stephen, Gladiatorian, where is he in your picking order?
So my problem is that last year he carried 60, and he finished 5 lengths off them. This year he's getting 61.5. Not going to be easy. He's a year older. As Pierre alluded to, he's a 3-year-old fan this year. So, in my opinion, he's going to battle, but that's my opinion. Can he run a big race? Yes, he can. He has a turn of foot. We all know that. Draw 8 is a nice draw, but he could be there in the first 6.
James, more of a place chance than a winning one, Gladiatorian?
Yeah, definitely, Warren. As Steve mentioned, he's got 1.5 kilos extra, and not just that, but there's 2 kilos, more to give at the bottom weights as well. So, if anything, a place chance.
What is he trading at, Steve? Well, he's trading at 22 to 1. The boosted price, Stephen?
It's a good price, 28 to 1, first boost, and 25 to 1, the second boost.
Okay, that is horse number 8, Gladiatorian. Let's move along and talk about Jason Murangasa's horse and Mike and Matthew de Kock. This is Aladdin's Lamp for Calvin Habib, and he's going to have his work cut out from that gate, but Calvin, being the top professional jockey that he is, they'll be in good hands. And he was a winner of his last start. He won the Jubilee, beating Copper Eagle, did Aladdin's Lamp, and he carries 53. Pierre, Aladdin's Lamp, what is your opinion on Mike and Matthew's horse?
They had to pay money to get him back in the race. I don't think he's beaten anything of top quality. Bad draw. I personally don't think he can win the race, but maybe James can tell us more about this horse.
He was with me in the yard prior, Warren. He's a nice sort, but I just don't think he's quite of this quality. He's in good form back at home, but I think he's a little bit out of his ground.
Obviously, as you've mentioned, you used to train the horse, so you'll have a bit of a line, or you'll know which is the more ability, etc. So, interesting. So, you're not too threatened.
I wouldn't think so. I think one thing I'm also concerned a little bit about this horse, turpentine really suits him.
Yes.
He takes a bit of time to unwind and build himself and get going, and he really kicks on the last 250, 200 meters at turpentine. You're not going to have that kind of time to build up at gravel. So if he's caught a little bit flat foot, he'll be doing his best work late, but it might be a little too late.
Too late. Stephen, Aladdin's Lamp, is he going into your play?
Warren, there's been a ton of money for this horse.
Okay, that's interesting.
40, 45 to 1 through the week. Been a lot of pressure on this horse. He's now trading at 20 to 1. Sure. We've been generous. We first boost 25 to 1. Second boost 22 to 1. If he was drawn better, and like like James alluded to, he won on Summer Cup Day last year. I think you trained him then.
Correct.
He just loves Turfentine and he thrives because he's the horse that needs to build up. And you and I actually backed him that day, Pierre, if you can remember. I know that you are getting old, but he is a nice horse. But from draw 18, I think he's got pressure.
Before we go on to the next horse, Stephen's having a go at you, saying that you are getting old, and I mean you look great for 83. Semi-retired life. I mean, you're missing it. I mean, you're enjoying yourself at the moment.
Loving it. Don't miss riding at all, and working with WorldSportsBetting and the staff, unbelievable. A lot of fun, easy work. No, loving it.
Have you had to start taking tranquilizers since working with Stephen Karam?
Yeah, he puts a lot of pressure on me. And,
Okay, let's go along then and talk about Native Ruler. That's horse number 10 from the Justin Snaith stable. This is owned by Greg and Gina Bortz, Mukund Gujada and Rakesh Sugalam. And those patrons are having a fine time at the moment. They're having winners all over the place. Native Ruler is by Verson Getrix, Keegan de Mello. Great rider, Keegan de Mello. He was happy with the gallop. He's thrilled with his Hollywoodbets Durban July ride. Stephen, what is Native Ruler boosted to off that 16-1? Because 16-1 is the current price of Native Ruler. What have the punters got for the next couple of minutes?
We're boosting him to 22-1, first boost, 20-1, second boost. And I'd just like to remind the viewers that the place boosts are also being boosted with this current, with these current boosts.
Okay, that is Native Ruler. Pierre, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about this horse. He beat Mlenze Yoka de Duma last time on the 13th of June, and it was quite an impressive, easy win.
it was actually, we tipped him on our podcast, and he just looked like the right horse in the race. But when you start looking at the form, he's very close to all the other horses, like Regulation and Isi Vivani. So, do you go with the 22-1 shot, or do you go with Isi Vivani? I mean, he's not out of it if you like the old horse. So, I think the prep's working out well. So, obviously, in with a chance.
That's number 10, Native Ruler. In with a chance, Pierre says, and those are the odds. We'll repeat those: 16-1 trading at, and boosted to 22-1, and then 20-1 thereafter. Now, James, I'm going to come to you with this horse, Zeitz, because chatting to Byron Foster and the team from Platinum Racing, Andre Nell, for me, he's just a horse. I mean, we know he's had ability. We know he's a nice horse, but he's just come so good at just the right time.
Yeah, Warren, he's a really nice individual. He hasn't really put much of a foot wrong. He's got good form, and with 53 on his back, he does look dangerous. I mean, on his run behind Legal Counsel back in November, he was there was 3 kilos between them. He's getting 9 kilos from Legal Counsel in this race. That is a massive turnaround over the 2,200 meters. So. I definitely make him a dark horse of the race, and I think he can be dangerous.
Pierre, he quickens. Star Major quickens. We know that. In fact, I haven't seen a horse like Star Major quicken like that in a long time. But Zeitz can turn it on too. Yeah,
he was impressive last time. You could see a long way out he was going to win it, just the way the horse moves through the field. My concern is that I have seen that he's pulled before. He's now going the extra distance. Normally the pace is normally a bit slower than as I go further, which means the horse might pull even more. So if he doesn't get cover quickly from a not so nice draw, he might pull.
Sure.
But then to drop him out, he might be too far behind. But if you like him, the form of the old horses is so on par. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a hugely valid point. I mean, you've been saying that all week, and you're quite right. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Stephen, this horse, when we spoke about Zeitz the other day, there was a bit of a twinkle in your eye.
Yeah, I just think, this is his peak run. It's the third run after rest. I just love the way that this horse quickens. And just chatting to James off air, I said I love the way Star Major quickens. And boy, can he quicken. But just the way that Zaitz came into the race at the 400, and he just moved away from them. I really, really like this horse, and I think he's going to run a massive, massive race.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And I know the question is, will he stay? Pedigree suggests he will, but I mean, pedigree and actually running are, and proving that are two different things. He's by Vercingetorix out of a Redoubt's Choice mare, so pedigree suggests he'll stay. So that's definitely one for the shortlist, horse number 12, Zaitz. So if you like him, you want to get involved, he is currently trading at 16 to 1, is Andre Nell's horse, Zaitz. But World Sports Betting are going to give you, what are they going to give you, Stephen?
Big price, 22 to 1.
Sure.
Huge price. First boost, second boost, 20 to 1.
That's horse number 12, Zaitz. Let's move on to an interesting runner, and chatting to many in the industry. Some are in his camp, some aren't in his camp, and that's Vivas Liberté. Certainly is a handsome son of Vercingetorix for the Bass team. Kaya Stables, Lady Christine Laidlaw is the owner. Craig Zaki, who's no stranger to winning this race. Craig too, Pierre, we mentioned Tristan, but I mean, Craig just firing on all cylinders, taking it in his stride and just thrilling us from the saddle.
You're riding really well. I mean, obviously you travel, you ride the best horses, and you keep riding more winners, and the confidence just keeps growing. In fact, I actually told Sean Terry a couple of years ago, I said, often when I ride horses, I used to improve on certain horses, but when I used to ride Craig Zaki's horses, I struggled to improve on some of his rides. So he gave, Sean Terry gave Craig the gap, and from there on it's been history.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the fence with this horse. I'm not sure what to make of him, so we need your help.
Okay, so he's one of the 3-year-olds that's on my list. My problem with him is that I've seen him, he pulled before, and last time he ended up in front, and it looked like Craig was struggling to slow him down. That is my issue. I mean, if you look at the weights, he's getting weight from the other 3-year-olds, like Star Major and so, but will he be able to settle over 2,200? It's a rough race. Are they going to bump him? Sometimes your horse gets bumped and takes a bit and goes forward, and the horse doesn't relax. So that's my concern. Ability-wise, form-wise, yes. Just maybe his mannerism could be his undoing.
James, Vivas Liberté, has he done enough? I mean, I hear what Pierre says. I respect every word he says. What are your thoughts on Vivas?
I also agree with Pierre, to be very honest with you. I think he's a horse that's got plenty of ability. I think what has been ultimately costing him is his lack of settling and running. And I mean, you could see that in his gallop even on Thursday. He jumped into the bridle strong, and it was a really honest gallop all the way through. So I think with 53 kilos, he's got the right kind of weight on his back. And if Craig can get him to switch off, then I do think he could be right there. But the biggest question mark is, will he turn off? Will he switch off? Okay,
will he switch off? So that's the guys are worried about that. And that's certainly a valid concern with Vivas Liberté. Let's see what odds 10 to 1 is what Vivas Liberté trades at, and for the next 3 minutes, and extra as well. Vivas Liberté gets boosted to, Stephen, 14 to 1. That's generous.
That's very generous. There's been money for him.
Okay.
There was money for him through the week. He was backed in from 16 to 1. To 10 to 1, so we've generously gone back out to 14 to 1, so the guys can get on. That's the first boost, and the second boost is 12 to 1.
Okay, so currently 10 to 1, boosted out 14, and then the second boost 12 to 1. That's Vivas Liberté, trained by Candice Bass, and who's ably assisted by Terry Fripp, who's doing a fabulous job with the horses here in KwaZulu-Natal. So that's 9 of Vivas Liberté. Now, I'm going to start with you, Stephen, about the next horse. This is, I like to say, a crack filly. She's by Legislate. She's for Justin Snaith. She's out of a Silvano mare. Jonathan Block and Nancy Hossack are the owners of Wishlist. And Andrew Fortune gets the ride with 54.5. And Yeah, she just keeps on winning. She's very good. She knows what it takes to win. She showed tremendous guts in her last start. Andrew Fortune has made it no secret. The gallops are good. The filly's good. He likes her a lot, does Andrew Wishlist. What do you make of her?
Listen, there's no doubt that she is a top filly. Capable rider. This is, in my opinion, Andrew's never won the July. I know that he chose her. I fancy the stable companion out of the two. Note to self. I mean, Richard's been there. He's done it. He knows what it takes to win a July. For me, she is a top filly, but I think that there's chinks in the armour this now.
Pierre, chinks in the armour, do you agree with that statement?
No, I think she's the one to beat. And Fortune, as he had a choice of many horses to ride. This filly has beaten all the colts before. When I spoke to Andrew Fortune, he said this filly quickens up really well. In my opinion, because Minogue went to the front last time, and Muzi he went quite slow and pinched it and almost held on. So I don't think you can go on that run, even though she did win. I think solid run race. She quickens up really well. Sounds like she's an easy horse to ride. Beaten the colts already, the horse to beat.
Okay, that's good feedback and that's good opinion from Striker. The filly they all have to beat. So that's the one for Pierre Strydom wish list. James, how nervous are you of her?
I think she is a danger in the race, Warren, but, you know, we meet at the same weights that we met in the Derby. And I don't have a doubt in my mind that Star Major has improved 2.5 kilos after his last 2 wins. So on that, I do fancy her. I think, you know, she's made hard work of winning her last 2 races, but she obviously is classy enough that she got the job done. I think it will be a tough task, but I do think she's dangerous.
That's 7 wish list for the Justin Snaith team, Jonathan Block and Nancy Hossack. They'll be there at Hollywoodbets Gravel. And absolutely beautiful filly is the Main Chance Farms bred horse wish list. Let's see what she's trading at. Wish list is currently at 7 to 1. That's the price of wish list, 7 to 1. And the very generous World Sports Betting will be boosting that to 8 to 1,
8
Stephen.
to 1,
yeah, it's good.
First boost, and 7.5 to 1 second boost.
Okay, that's number 7 wish list. As we get closer and closer to, we say, the more fancied horses in the market, and that is wish list. Let's go to one of Justin Snaith's other runners. That is the Legislate Gelding for Greg and Gina Bortz. Zach Lloyd. Wow. Pierre, talking of great riders, Jeff, we can't wait. I think he's landed in South Africa. I think Jeff has. I think Zach comes tomorrow. But what he did at Ascot, what he's been doing all over the place, impressive.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Zach riding, but what I have seen, very nicely balanced, quiet rider. But his dad, in my opinion, was the best jockey in South Africa that I rode against. He just had good hands, timing, balance, he had everything, and he was very sharp. So if he's half as good as his dad, he'll make it.
Okay, that's Zach Lloyd with Regulation. James, yeah, what do you make of this horse's last run?
Apparently he choked up in the race. That's what I heard. You know, he's clearly going to be dangerous on 52.
Yes.
But I do question, you know, if he's actually good enough to be competing in this kind of field.
Okay, Regulation. Stephen, I agree with James's comment. 6.5 is what the current odds are of Regulation, and that's going to be eased out a bit to 7.5.
Just 7.5 to 1, and second boost 7 to 1. And just on a side note, Jeff Lloyd arrived in town yesterday.
Okay.
So he is here to see Zach in his first July. And yeah, it's going to be great. It's nice to have that international flair.
Absolutely, and I so look forward to hearing the feedback from Jeff and all the internationals that are coming back to Hollywoodbets Greyville and, of course, to KZN to see all the wonderful changes that have taken place. 11, gentlemen, this is the penultimate runner, and we're going to certainly spend a bit more time on Star Major, who is the favourite. But for now, note to self, you heard Stephen Karam mention that he prefers this horse, the one that Richard's riding, for Jonathan Block, Jonathan Snaith and Nancy Hossack. Awkward draw. Stephen, I'll start with you because you did mention that you prefer note to self out of the Snaith runners. And why not? He's a good horse.
Yeah, I've been shot down by a couple of people.
That's impossible.
No, it's very possible. I personally think that he has had a good prep, in my opinion. I think those last 2 runs were absolute easies going into this race, where Wishlist, she had to work to get to the line. And I just think that that this horse is a huge, huge, huge runner. And at 55 kilos, Richard Ferry in the irons, we know that he knows how to win the July. He's got to be a big, big runner. For me, it's an absolute 2-horse race. Note to self, Star Major. And yeah, those are the 2 that I'm going for.
What is he trading at the moment, and what can we look forward to?
He's currently trading at 6-1. His first boost is 7-1, and his second boost is 6.5-1.
Pierre, you've beaten on the 3-year-old drum. Here's a note to self. Yeah, he's a fabulous horse. He really does look to be a proper horse in the making.
Well, initially I didn't like note to self for the reason I saw him Greyville when he ran. He's got this long, slow sort of stride on him that normally shows you that the horse needs either ground or it needs a galloping track. And so I didn't initially like him for Greyville, but when he starts studying form, he's getting the weight. And with the Durban July, the pace is always on from the beginning. It becomes more of a stamina type of race because when they start eating up, you're able to maintain around and get a position. And I think the draw is going to help Richard here because he's going to probably have to force himself to get in a position which could make it more of a galloping sort of a race.
Okay.
And I think that's now going to start playing into his hands. So I'll make note to self a huge runner as well.
James, when we mention the name note to self, what goes through your mind?
My only concern as well, Warren, he's a 2-time winner. So he's broken his maiden and he won I think a C Stakes or Class 3, Class 4.
Scottish Links, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, he's not far. He's always been there and thereabouts. 55 kilos, you know, with the 2 kilo swing between him and Star Major, you have to think that he's going to be involved in the race. He didn't quite impress me last time round, but like I say, the 2 kilo swing can change a lot. So, you know, Richard Ferry on a horse that I think is getting better with time and maturity, being a Futura. I think he'll be a dangerous runner.
Yeah, that's Justin Snaith's horse note to self, horse number 11, who is the second favourite, who's currently trading at odds of 6-1 note to self. But WorldSportsBetting are over the next couple of minutes going to be offering you, Stephen.
We are offering 7-1, first boost, 13-2, which is 6.5-1, second boost. Can I just add that they met, and I'm talking about note to self and wish list. So Richard is riding this horse for the first time. So, like your theory, where okay, there's a different jock on this horse now, and he knows how to get the best out of them. And secondly, okay, note to self is actually 2 kilos better off than wish list for a 3/4 length beating. So I know where my money's going to be.
Yeah, okay, that's Stephen, note to self. That's the second favourite. Now, I want to just put the form book down for a moment. And I want us to spend some time on Star Major, because Star Major is a Karari out of a Silvano mare, trained by this young man on our right. for Neville Isdell, Jonathan Block, Prakashini Pillay and Kalinga. Michaela Michelle, I said to her at Hollywoodbets Greyville the other day, I said, Michaela, you came to South Africa for a bit of a working holiday. You went off to a few game farms. You went and looked at game. You booted home a few winners. Did you ever think, you would end up riding the Hollywoodbets Durban July favourite? And she just said, no, I didn't, and I just can't believe it's all happening.
Yeah. No, it's she's a really good rider, Warren. Star Major and her have got a great relationship. He can be a horse that can get a little bit keen in running. Ultimately, that's what happened in his Derby run, and that's why he finished, 3 lengths behind. And even in his Guineas run with her initially, they went honest, and I think it was at about the 1,000-meter, they just eased it back a touch. And I just saw his head pop up for a stride or two, and I wondered a little bit. I said, hey, is he going to grab the bridle and really go now? And in 2 strides, he spat the dummy out and he was switched off again. So, Mikkel and him get along fantastically. She's done really well. And, the fact that it's taken her this long to win a Group 1, I think everyone's quite shocked, especially with the international profile that she's got. And, nice to see her get the fruits for her labour.
What is he like to work with at home, Star Major?
He's very straightforward, Warren. He goes about his business. He does what you ask of him. Can be a little bit keen in running, but he's got everything it takes to be a good horse. Good head on his shoulder, good demeanour. Like I say, just goes about his business, and the good ones look after themselves. So,
Pierre, we know that you are in the camp of wish list, but Star Major, we mentioned about horses quickening, and he certainly has gears.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think he's the best horse in the race, without a doubt. But as James was saying, he's got a tendency to pull a little bit. If he's going to be not placed in the race, he's going to have to be dropped out to drop the bit. And this is a big field, 18 runners. If you're too far behind, that could be your issue. When you start hitting the 700, 600, those front horses start tiring, also that shouldn't be in the race, and they can't keep up. They can't keep up to get to the straight, and they just get in the way. So you're either stuck behind them and you drop back, or you've got to start racing wide. So that's my only concern, is that might not be able to place Star Major, might be too far back in a big field, but we know how quicken up in the past. It was unbelievable. Every time from last, and just mows them down. But those are small fields. Now it's a big field. That's my only concern.
James, I'm going to put you under a bit of pressure.
Just to comment back to Pierre.
Yes.
In his last 2 starts, he was 10 lengths behind at the 800-meter mark. And he won going away. So okay. I'll just leave you thinking about that.
James, on a mark of 10, 10 being supremely confident, how confident are you?
10.
Can't get better than that, ladies and gentlemen. 10 out of 10.
He's just got to stomach the weight, Warren. Barring that, everything has gone flawlessly. So very, very happy with him.
Stephen, lovely when a trainer comes in onto a panel and just into a race, and it's great. You get it wrong or you get it right, but the confidence is there, and it's great because he certainly is an exciting horse.
Everything's got to go right. I mean, this is like the Hollywoodbets Durban July, so everything has got to go right. We were on course, Pierre and myself, on the 2nd of May, and he came from last, and Pierre looked at me and he went, wow, like the way he finished off. Last time, same thing, came from second last, took a bump, and still won going away. For me, this is my idea of a winner of the Hollywoodbets Durban July. And he's, in my opinion, he's a massive, massive, massive force.
Okay, that's Star Major. If you're in his camp, and please believe me, there are many in his camp, you can get boosted odds. Currently trading at 4-1 is the Hollywoodbets Durban July favourite, Star Major. But WorldSportsBetting are going to ease that out to what price, Stephen?
In my opinion, the traders have gone very generous. at 11-2. If you fancy this one, snap it up. Second boost, 5-1 for another 3 minutes. Also generous price. Big runner.
Okay. I think before we put the Hollywoodbets Durban July to bed, let's just get some 1, 2, 3 selections from the guys, and then we're going to move on to the Ridgemont Garden Province as well, because there's fabulous odds on offer there. I'll start with you, Stephen, if you don't mind, just to share with the viewers your 1, 2, 3 for the Hollywoodbets Durban July.
Star Major. Note to Self, Zatz, and Isibivani.
Pierre?
My first choice is Wish List. Second, Note to Self. Third, Star Major. All 3 olds. You mentioned earlier you can have a bet on the age of horses.
Yes.
I think have a bet on the 3 old.
Okay, all right. Well, James, we know who your first choice is. Who are you expecting to chase you home?
I think Note to Self will be there. Second, Wish List I'll say will be third. And then I'll go with Sights for fourth.
Okay, that's the panel's selections. And they've all left out a horse that I think is a massive runner in the form of number 13, Mocha Blend. I've got a huge respect for the filly, and she's probably going to be my narrow first choice, with huge respect for Wish List and Star Major. Okay, let's move along then and talk about the next race, which is the Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes. It's a Grade 1. Humdinger. You've won it with Humdinger Strikes, is that right, Humdinger?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Great win for Joe DeMatta.
Yes.
It was his first Grade 1 as well.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And that is...
And then he went into retirement.
You were just telling us another story off air, that it was last year. You never had a ride in the Hollywoodbets Durban July, is that right? But you rode on the day.
Yeah, I've been riding for 44 years. And if I wasn't injured or wasn't suspended or out of the country, I would always ride in Durban July. And last year was the first time I sat in the jockey room, and I said to myself, it's time to go.
Okay, that's fair enough, but we certainly miss him in the saddle. But as I said at the top of the preview, we certainly are blessed to still have Pierre Strydom amongst us and within the horse racing industry. Before we go on to the next race, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, all those additional promotions. We've listed them, we've spoken about them. Please go onto the site and have a look. There are tons and tons of specials, additional promotions. Go on and get busy. Now, let's move along then, gents, and talk about the Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes, Grade 1. And to all the sponsors of the day, well, huge days like this wouldn't be possible without all these fabulous sponsors. And it's just great. This is the Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes over 1,600 metres. Let's get a quick comment and talk about the odds of these horses. And we'll start with horse number 1, Lulu, from the Michael Roberts stable for the Ram Cigars. Rathmore stud have bred the Declaration of Peace. She gets gate 1. Pierre, she's got a rating of 73.
Yeah, I can't give anyone any confidence of it winning or running a place.
Stephen, odds?
150-1. Second boost, 125-1. One, can I just add, if I may, that we're running out of time, and I'd love to go through all the runners in the Garden Province, but maybe we can just go through the top 4.
Okay.
Okay, with the odds boost, but the guys need to remember that the whole field has been boosted. So if you like a horse in the Garden Province, just know that there is a boost on every single horse in the Garden Province.
Okay, that's obviously fabulous to know. Well, then let's do that quickly. Then let's quickly go through Coconut, Mon Petit Cherie, Quick Step Gal and Double Grand Slam. I won't get an opinion then from everybody, but we'll bounce about. Pierre, Dean Canemaya's horse, Coconut for Craig Zaki. Her last 2 runs behind Wishlist were excellent.
Yeah, I mean, if I like Wishlist in Hollywood Durban July, then obviously it must have a chance. But if you go on other runs, Double Grand Slam has got a beaten. and she doesn't have the nicest of draw either. 1600 at Gravel, very important, good draw. As you jump, they start turning straight away. Huge advantage to be drawn well.
What is she trading at, Stevie?
She's trading at 15-2, 7.5 to 1. First boost 9 to 1. Second boost 8.5 to 1.
Okay, let's go to Mont Petit Chéri for James and Ridgemont and Devon Heifer. Richard Ferry, renews rivalry with double Grand Slam. How's she doing, James?
She is flying, Warren. I couldn't be happier with this filly. I think she's a bit unlucky that she's not a Group 1 winner in her outright yet. So couldn't be happy with her. She's got a good draw. For me, all her competition is drawn wide of her. They've got the work to do. So very happy with her. I think she's worth it each way chance.
Stephen, 6 to 1 the boost. Is that correct?
6 to 1.
Sure.
Big price. From 9 to 2. Second boost 11 to 5.5 to 1.
Let's talk about the horse called Quick Step Gull for Tinny Prinsloo. He's done wonders with his Vercingetorix filly for Lawrence Verners and his family. And, of course, Harry Wilson, 2 stalwarts of the game. Keegan DeMello rides. And she is trading. What are her odds, Stephen?
Her odds are 4 to 1. First boost 11 2. Second boost 5 to 1.
Pierre, quick comment on Quick Step Gull. She was gutsy last time.
Sure, huge runner. When I first looked at the race, without studying, I thought Mont Petit Chéri was the right horse because she was caught wide last time from a very bad draw. She should turn the form around with Quick Step Gull. But if you look at the form, there's the 3 kilogram turnaround in Quick Step Gull's favour. So 3 kilograms, 3 lengths, well, can Mont Petit Chéri turn it around? I don't know, but huge runner. Quick Step Gull, huge runner.
Double Grand Slam for Justin Snaith, Drakenstein, Dave McLean, Gary Player, Andrew Fortune from an awkward draw. She's obviously, we know how good she is. She's obviously got a huge winning chance. And the odds, Mr. Karam?
11 to 10. First boost 14 to 10. Second boost 13 to 10.
Okay, that's the Ridgemont Garden Province. As you heard from Stephen Karam, we're running out of time. We are reaching the finish line of this wonderful panel. Just before we bid you all farewell, it would be remiss if I didn't quickly ask James. James, you've got 4 runners on the day. We've obviously covered Star Major. We've covered Mont Petit Chéri. Quick comment for the punters, Otto Lucan and Royal Tiara.
Otto Lucan, he's half a kilo better off this year than he was last year in the same race. I think we've got him better this year than we do last year. So he's got a difficult draw to overcome, but he had the same thing last year. So I think he's a big runner in the consolation. And then Royal Tiara, stellar run last time round. We had to take our punishment from the poor draw. This time round we draw 3. I think we can turn the form around with LSB top class. So very happy with all my runners on the day. I think you can't exclude any of them.
Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. Stephen, thank you for your contribution and for, as I said earlier, your passion and your love for the game and all that you do. Lovely to have been on the panel with you, and wish you and your patrons all the best for the big day.
Cheers, thank you so much. And obviously from our CEO, Warren Tennis, and our COO, Rainer Duplessis, we thank you guys for being part of this. It's been amazing to have you on the show, both of you. And all the best for you, James, next Saturday. And I hope to see you in the winner's circle.
Please ensure that we at the party, at the celebration party, should you win, James. But yeah, I reiterate what Stephen says. Lovely to be with you. Thank you for your time jetting in from Gauteng. Strikes, always a pleasure. Never a dull moment being in your company. Lovely to hear all your stories. To both of you, 2 legends. And I say that because you've already won at such a young age 2 Hollywoodbets Durban Julys. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much.
There we go. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. All that's left for us is to bid you farewell and to wish you all the very best. There's so many punting opportunities, specials, bonuses. You've heard it all from the horse's mouth. The first race on Saturday at Hollywoodbets Gravel is 11:45, and there's a feast of 12 races. From all of us here at Mount Edgecombe Country Club, punt well, be safe, and as always, we will see you in the number 1 box.
Prince coming at 8 on 18. The Real Prince, 8 on 18. The Real Prince has done it from 8 on 18.
Oh, you're so amazing.